welcome back to another episode of
Mom
and Son. I'm Jay, I'm the son.
and I'm Alicia, I'm the
It's going
mom.
to be an exciting day, an exciting episode, because we're talking about something that everyone wants to find. Most people try and find it, but maybe it's always within us. It's happiness.
Happiness, I love that. That is one thing we all strive for, and once it becomes elusive to us, everything goes down the chute. So we really need to talk about how to stay happy, be happy, and how to learn to not allow your happiness to be destroyed or dwindle or just not become a part of your life anymore. We have to talk about those things. I'm excited.
Yep. And I mean, happiness is something that there's two kind of sides to happiness. More like a sort of a bliss and a happiness and a joy that you feel within yourself. And there's a happiness that you feel based on external factors.
Yeah. So we'll definitely talk about both types.
Yeah. We're definitely talking about both types and just everything, and just go over the whole process of it and give you some tips on how to find it.
I think one of the things, I mean, I don't know about other people, but one of the things when I was growing up with regards to happiness is I always equated happiness with the external. Good things going your way, I'm happy. Once you're in a state in your life where things are going well and everything's going great, I'm happy. And that's an easy model to follow. And I think most of us kind of do follow that model. But as time went on, I guess the deepest part of coping with things going on in your life and remaining happy is when things aren't going well. And I started to realize that you cannot always rely on the external to keep you happy. Happiness has to come from a deeper place, a place within you that, again, we'll talk about a little bit later, but within you, to the point where it doesn't matter what is going on in your life, what's going on in your life on the external. You still find it within yourself to remain happy on a constant basis. Not like to fake it, or obviously if something really tragic happened, you wouldn't try and be happy. I'm saying that, it's something that must kind of be found within you and felt, so that when little things go wrong or things go up and down, you're not fazed. You can still put a smile on your face and people can say, so-and-so is going through a lot of challenges, but they're always happy and smiling when I see them. That kind of, become that kind of person. Not the person that everyone says, gosh, they look so miserable, or, they actually have a lot, but they're always miserable.
That's true.
And I think that an important part of this chat, and to talk to you guys as well, is to give some form of encouragement to finding, we just did an episode on balance, but finding a kind of inner balance, and finding a way that will allow you to remain happy in the good and bad times. I don't mean ha-ha kind of happy, but just a sense of peaceful happiness. As you said, I love that word, bliss. Finding certain type of bliss, regardless of what's going on.
I mean,
what do you think?
I think, happiness comes in many forms. There's many people that sort of are more just a happiness and a joy or a bounce within themselves, and there's some that are more expressive and more extrovert about it. They may laugh, or they may dance or move in a certain different way because they feel happiness and because they feel joy. And it's amazing that you mentioned about you can have people that have a lot, but are still
They're
miserable.
never happy, yeah.
And it reminds me of, you know, if you've ever travelled and you've been to certain places in smaller towns or villages, even in countries that are developing countries, or you may see it on certain shows and that, but sometimes people don't have nothing or hardly much, but they can still have a smile on their face, and they can still have a certain sense or feel of joy, and
sometimes it's the small things
and that's
that
it.
make
Sometimes
them joyful. It's not
the
like,
small things.
always having tons of money and achieving, it's sometimes it's just being able to, I don't know, walk on the beach or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Something simple.
Sometimes
if
it's just a simple thing,
if that's in their locality, a simple thing for them. Some people just find joy in fishing or something. And some simple things like that can
and that's
make
what
you
I think,
happy.
because I think when you put a condition on happiness or something like that. Oh well, I won't feel happy until
I've done.
Or until I've done this, or I won't feel happy until this person does this, or my life becomes this, or something like that. You're basically saying that I'm going to be unhappy
till that thing happens, and so if it doesn't happen, you've been unhappy for a major part of your life.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
And I think the reason that we always feel are worse when we're unhappy is because I don't feel that's really our natural state. I know we come into the world crying. I know we come into the world crying when we're babies and that, just been born. But when you think about it, I don't really feel that. I don't feel like the kind of the hate or the anger and that we came out with that. I feel we come out more open-hearted, more joyful and stuff. Whatever happens to us, we then become sort of, our outcome and our habits and our things can define
how we become in life,
or our environment and stuff like that. But I think at the center of us and our nature is to do more with joy and happiness, and that's why I think when we have those moments of happiness, no matter how long
people dance, they celebrate,
you feel good, because I think that's a natural state.
Sure. I think with happiness, at the end of the day, we as individuals have to create our own happiness. You can. That's why two people can do something, the same thing.
Yeah.
And you'll get two different points of view. Some will say, you know what, I had so much fun. They created that fun and joy. And other people can say, oh, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. So, depending on you kind of have the power to create your own happiness, believe it or not. Whether it's internal, external, because again, the internal side of things always reflects outwardly.
Yeah.
So if you have inner happiness and joy, and then what you do starts to create a kind of a situation where you invite more happiness to you because of the person that you are.
You are.
Yeah. And that is powerful. Once you realize it, so are you telling me like I can kind of create my own happiness? Yes, you can kind of create happiness inwardly and that will reflect outwardly.
Yeah.
So more happy related situations and events will start happening for you because you feel happier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what would you say if somebody is not feeling happy? Again, how would you say to them, how do they turn that around to begin to start suddenly feeling, I can turn this around? I mean, it's similar to what we spoke about in a previous series. If you haven't looked at them and you go back, you'll find the one about, we said, starting off with a smile is an important thing.
That's true.
But then, taking it that stage further, if you find too many things making you feel unhappy, I would say start inwardly and work from there. Work your way inwardly and then outwardly.
Yeah, inside out.
Inside out, exactly. Rather than trying to change the external. You know, some people may say, you know what, you know, my partner makes me so unhappy. But then you realize, you know what, I can't change them. I can only work on myself.
Yeah.
You know, you might say, my work colleagues make me unhappy. My boss makes me unhappy. But you know what? You can't change those people to suit what you feel would make you happy. You have to say, I need to be in a state of happiness, and that will start to reflect on these people. You know, and worse still, you still have the ability to change your situation or circumstance, to take yourself out of a situation that makes you unhappy. You know, that's another form of power. You know, if you work on the power of being able to be happy, then you have the strength to then take other steps to still help with the happiness. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely true. And, you know, talking about, as you said, not changing external factors, and those things can't sort of change to fit whatever you want it to now be a happy thing, is, you know, look how many people have a certain vice that they try to find happiness through, whether it's, you know, drugs, prescription drugs, or whether it's like alcohol, or whether it's, you know, some type of other outlet. You know, some people feel they have a void, and they're saying, well, I'm sad in life, or I'm unhappy.
So I'm using that.
So I'm using these things to
help me get through it.
To help me get through it.
Yeah.
And that's how I know what you're saying about kind of working from inside out is the perfect thing, because no matter what outside things we do or blame or wish they change and if we're trying to find our happiness through people or substances like this and that, we'll never
always you might elevate yourself or for a little while, but you'll be back to square one. You know, the work starts within. That's really the key. The work does start within, and then everything else can be worked on step by step outwardly. You see, what I realized in life, in my wisdom of older years, is you can't change people. And above all, there's certain situations and circumstances that you can't always change. You have to kind of realize the change starts with me first, and then I can be strengthened to deal with the next step, which may be an external thing. But if you're thinking, oh, you know, my partner makes me unhappy, if only he could do this, or if only she could do that, or, you know, if only they could stop doing this, or, you know, you'll be talking forever.
It's true.
Because it is really hard to change people externally, you know, and even certain things, if I take it, you know, like situations maybe at a job, that, oh, this is going on, that's going on, my boss is like this, you know, the management are like this and that. Again, you as an individual are going to find it very difficult to change those kind of external circumstances. You're going to have to say, listen, I realise that's going on, but I need to start with me.
I think that's true. I think when you recognise and say, my happiness starts with me.
A lot of people might say, hey, but how can you say that? You know, but this is going on, that's going on. You know, how can happiness start with me because of why I'm so unhappy? Why, you know, things are happening in my life that have made me very unhappy. You know, what would you say to someone who said, oh, you know, I can't believe that it starts with me?
I'd say your happiness starts with you because your unhappiness starts with you.
That's a good one. I mean? I love that. Jay, that's a good one. Because I like that. I wasn't expecting you to come up with that answer. But that's great. And it's true.
And like, I'm just saying it honestly
wisdom.
Because that's something that I'd eventually have to tell myself. That's what I would have to tell myself. Like, no matter how many excuses I threw and tried to justify, I'd have to say, hey, but you know, your happiness starts with you because your unhappiness does. You know what I mean?
And not a lot of people would you know, kind of reflect on that and say, yeah, that's true. But it is.
It is.
It is true.
Because
you're defining
different. Because different people can go, or the same people or similar people or whatever you want to call it, can go through the same or similar experience. So different people can go through the same type of thing, or the same thing can happen. This
and they can come out of it.
Factually, there is no law saying everyone who goes through that
comes out in this way.
It's going to come out this way, or for the rest of their life they have to be this way. Blah blah blah. Which means that it comes down to us. Yeah,
you are the factor, the sort of changing factor in all this. And the reason you are the changing factor is because you only have power over yourself. You don't have power or dominion over others. And that's a fact. You can only change you. You can't change others.
You can't change others.
You know, you may have a chat with someone and they may say, you know what, you got a point. I'm going to work on that. But there's no guarantee.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no guarantee that they will do what you're trying to do, work on yourself or something like that. So I think happiness starts with you, like you said.
It does.
Because your unhappiness starts with you.
Yeah.
So you have the power to change both.
Yeah.
You have that power.
That's exactly it. And, you know, so I'm sure some people will be like, okay, I get that now, but how do
I have that power?
I go about maybe finding that power or doing the first step?
Yes.
Towards
that's a valid question.
Feeling happy and stuff like that.
What would you say to someone who said, okay, you said I need to work, you know, have the power to do this myself. First of all, I think you have to start with belief. Yeah. You have to believe it.
Yeah, you
know, you have to say, I actually believe that I can do something. About my situation or how I feel. Start with how you feel, because feeling is powerful. You know, it translates. Well, you know,
feeling is everything with happiness, because we don't say to someone, "Oh, we don't say I think happy. You say I feel happy. You know what I mean? Like you don't. Do you know what I mean?
But like, thinking happy might be a good thing to be
thinking
doing.
Happy is great. But you always find people, the word they use the most is feel. Like, absolutely. Oh, I feel so happy about this, or I'm so happy, or you know, like it always comes.
It is feeling,
But everything else plays its part. Definitely your words and your thoughts. That all plays a part. But because you said feeling, you know, you talked about feelings. I said, it's true actually. Feelings really do come to it a lot.
Because I heard about a story about, I mean, it's too long-winded to go into it, but essentially this lady was trying to manifest something to happen or change in her life, and it wasn't working. And ultimately, at the end of it, when she really took a kind of a deep look at things, she realised that it was because she didn't feel it. And the minute she started feeling that feeling of what she wanted, it from her, you know, I would say from a soulful level, everything started to fall into place. You know, so happiness, I do believe, needs to start there and to feel it. And just, as you used to say, was it, let me try.
Let me try. Exactly. Like, let me try.
Let me try.
It's almost
like everything's making me miserable.
But like, you know what's so funny is that when we see happiness outside ourselves, it feels like we're chasing something that's very elusive. But when you recognize that it's inside of you,
and you can create it,
like you just have to let that kind of grow or nurture it to become more present
in your life and regular. You know.
And
consistent,
and
isn't it? Because
I mean, you could even write about, you know, things you're happy for. Start to focus on the things you're happy for, regardless of whatever's going on. What are the things in your life that you're happy for, or the people you're happy to have, or the relationships you may be happy to have, or the experiences you've had,
or the things that make you happy,
You may want to delve in those types of things and so on, but not just do it and then say, well, that's over, so I can't be happy now because that thing I like is over, blah blah. But it's more like sort of carrying the experience or the love of it and the joy of it with you. and saying, wow, like that was so great, I can't wait to the next time I do it, or the next time I see that person, and you know, I'm just so happy to have them like in my life. And that, you know, when you start kind of talking like this and focusing on those things, not only do you feel more happy,
you start to find solutions.
You start finding more solutions, more happiness.
Yeah.
You know, because as well on a mental level, your mind is now looking for more things to be happy about.
Yeah.
So
and more happier things start coming to you as well.
Exactly.
Things that you can celebrate start happening naturally.
Yeah. So you like, you know, you've gone from thinking bad thoughts or sad thoughts and finding reasons to be unhappy
and blame and anger
to now saying like, wow, I'm happy for that, I'm happy for this, I'm happy for this. You know, like you find money on the floor, wow, I'm so happy for that. Or like whatever happens, someone opens the door for me, wow, I'm so happy about it.
Little things
but that's going back to what we said earlier about these simple things. You start to be happy for the simple things too. So maybe you want to do some form of journaling where you start to just journal a few things you're happy about. I actually got this gift for one of my birthdays where I got a happiness book.
That's beautiful.
It was for the whole year, where every day it will get you to write 3 things that happened during the day you're happy about. And the first time you do it, it's, I don't know, it's a bit cheesy, whatever. But after you do it for like a while, you even kind of like start to write more on the page than 3 or 4 things. You start to write even more because you're now thinking like, man, actually this also happened and I was happy for that. And that's the kind of stuff you have to do some of the time. So whether it's reflecting, believing that you have the power to feel happy and that lies with you, journaling, something like that.
Sometimes, again, affirmations. Some people
so like affirmations as well.
Will say happy affirmations to help them get through
and stuff
and
like that.
Turn that negative energy into positive and to feel happier.
Because by doing that, as we said, you'll feel happier. And that's the whole point of it, because we're not just saying this as in, you know, and I think we look at happiness like this thing of either you're going to be happy all the time or you're going to be sad all the time. It's one or the other, but you'll probably find the most happiest people will go through the same things that you can. Yeah. It's just that
we're all human. They're going through it.
Exactly.
It's just that the way that they handle it, and overcome it or get through it is going to be different to the way you're doing it. And so you have to kind of, it's that consistency, isn't it?
Because I said it in a previous episode once, it's like their lows won't be as low, or even if they are, they don't last long. Yeah. Because they're usually on their highs. Yeah. And more happiness. Even when your lows come, they won't last as long. Because you will feel like a different person. Because you're a happier person. Or you choose to live, you know, with more happiness surrounding you. Yeah.
Inwardly and outwardly.
Yeah. And I think any outward happiness usually reflects on that happiness that you feel within.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. So I would say, as you know, if you're listening to this series, you'll be thinking, okay, what are the tips? I would definitely say we've covered quite a lot of them anyway, but it's so important to start within. That will happen without, and then once you get that consistency of you know, feeling happy more than you're feeling unhappy, then happiness starts to win.
Yeah, because all you need to do is, if life was like a meter or something like that, and then in the middle there's a dial and it goes, this
unhappy
is
and unhappy,
unhappy, this is happy.
Yeah.
You know, just being even 5% more in the happy side is just enough, because you're still, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be so happy that it's like, you're so happy, wow, like that. Like, you don't always need to be like that. But tipping that dial always into the happiness zone, because sometimes you'll be extremely happy. Yeah. Sometimes you'll be mildly happy. You know, sometimes.
But that's why we talked about consistency of having that consistent type of happiness.
That's it.
Feeling.
So I'm just saying, like, you know, all you need to do is put that dial straight into the happiness zone more than it is in that, and then that's it. Whether it's fully, whether it's a bit, doesn't matter, as long as you're there
shifting
and
to
you're doing
that
things
side.
to shift there. That's all that matters.
You've started. You know, you're giving it a try. you're
exactly,
moving it forward in that respect. So
that's it. You know, it's not when we make it too extreme. I either need to be 100% happy or I can't be happy at all or something.
Yeah.
That's too inflexible. You know.
Yes.
But when you say actually, like, you know what, yesterday, out of 10, yesterday I was a 7, but today I feel like an 8. You know, that itself is like great. You know what I mean? So
and you're progressing.
Yeah,
you know, you're
that's it.
But you know what the key about this is?
It can't be measured to some respect.
The key is that you understand that this is your power.
Yeah.
To achieve. It doesn't rely with anyone else. And I think once you get that, it makes everything we're saying easier. It makes everything we're saying fall into place and be more understandable. Because when you can't see life in that way, you're stuck. You know, it took me a while to realize these things. And then once you realize them, it's like you've turned your world around. It doesn't matter what happens. You're still kind of empowered to cope with everything, to deal with everything, to come out still a happier person than that you may see your colleagues or others, or other, you know, those around you. And then the joy, just before we go, the thing I love about happiness is if you're happy, you make other people feel happier, don't you?
That's exactly it. It's true. So yeah. So I think that's it. You know, don't wait for anyone else to be happy and give you a reason to be happy. If you're happy, sometimes you feel that happiness just spreads. I mean, look at the song by Pharrell. Happy. Like when that song came out, it was contagiously happy.
It made us
and
happy.
That's the power of it. You know, that's the power of it.
Yeah.
And the power of happiness is such a strong feeling that once it comes out and once it just resonates and people feel it, it's almost like
it's unstoppable.
That powerful energy is much stronger than any negative one is.
Always.
Yeah, and it's very powerful and very strong.
And talking about that song, I mean, that song really sort of reflects and represents everything about happiness. Yeah, doesn't it?
It does.
Love it. I tell you what, if you feel unhappy, put that song on.
Yeah, it's true. But that's it. You know,
put that song on. That's a start
to kick into happiness gear or mode. So that's definitely true. And just before we end, I remember it was a quote by Wayne Dyer who said, "There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way."
Love that. And love him.
So
that's fantastic.
So that is that. So make happiness the way that you choose to go. To go.
Wow. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed this particular session on happiness, and I'm really glad that you've joined us. And hopefully, everything we've shared will help you get through your day and encourage you to be happy throughout your day and throughout your life as well. So I've enjoyed it.
Let us know if there's any other recommendations or any other topics. You can let us know in the comments. And if you feel happy and you like this video or this episode, then give a thumbs up, and you can also join the family and subscribe at any time. So until the next one, this is MumNSon, and we're done. See ya.